short broadcast of Warp Drive. Flying solo this morning because this is a very short broadcast and very specific. I'm just finishing off a livery, and it's a replica livery. I don't do many replica liveries, but I guess I decided that I wanted to do this particular car. This is a gorgeous little 2002 that is raced competitively and competed in the recent 24-hour Nürburgring Classic race, or Rennen, and it was driven by Eve SCHEER and I believe her father-in-law Hermann Stippler. And Eve SCHEER is a well-known European journalist from Germany, and she follows the MotoGP. Anyway, she's got a Facebook page. She may have a YouTube channel, I do not know, but she definitely has a Facebook page if you want to look up Eve SCHEER, and I'm certain that she'd be happy for you to follow her and look at all the content that she does share on her Facebook page. I'm not quite sure which channel or station or network she works for. I apologise, Eve, that I don't know. And I don't know Eve either, just to be clear. I have also reached out to Eve because I wanted to learn more about her 2002. But in the meantime, I felt when I saw this livery, there's just something that's very unique about the livery. And to be fair, the livery on the 2002, in my opinion, looks even better on the 2002 than it looks on this particular car. But this is the closest I can get to the 2002 in terms of the BMW vehicle. And if I zoom out, you'll see the livery. I don't want to preempt anything, but this is the livery that I've done. I've done my best to accurately replicate it, but obviously I do have some challenges, I should say, because this car is obviously different in its shape to a certain degree. For example, it's certainly not as angular in terms of the sharpness of corners. The pillars, the A pillar and the C pillar, are certainly not as upright, and as you can see, there is no B pillar, and so the front end is also very much less square and more rounded, as is modern car styles. And obviously the front aero is markedly different to the 2002. So, you know, I've had my challenges in building this replica or creating this replica, and certainly in terms of finding accurate decals. And as some of you know, I do not make my own decals. Basically, I've only ever made one. And so I've had to do a lot of customization. The Kraft Walzen decals is an example where I've had to significantly modify a version of that to recreate what is actually on the car. But look, I've done my best to faithfully replicate it in respect to Eve, her father, Eve's husband, and of course the car itself. So I hope that they're happy with it. I'll certainly include in this video, I'll jump into the room when I'm done, so I'll probably stop this video and make another short video afterwards where I'm actually, when I'm finished, putting Eve and Herman's name on the side of the car where it is on the doors on either side. And then when I've done that, I'll actually go and drive the car out in a race so I can record that, and then I can also post that so that Eve and Herman and Eve's husband can get to see their livery driving around a different car. I know they'll have video footage of their actual car, and you can go to YouTube and look up the Nürburgring 24-hour Classic, which I thoroughly recommend you do, as it is a great race. The broadcast is in German, so obviously from my perspective, because I don't speak German, I can't understand the broadcast, but I actually do love the commentary work that the commentators do, and they what I like about it is the guys sound so relaxed. It's almost like two mates talking in a pub, or in some kind of bar. So from that perspective, it's quite hilarious to hear them talking when incidents happen, and they're obviously having lots of fun because they're laughing a lot themselves. Anyway, I'm digressing. So this livery is really to just pay, I guess, respect and a bit of homage to what is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful BMWs that have ever been designed. Of course, the CSL is probably number one in my mind, but obviously the CSL was born out of the 2002, so I believe. I'm happy to be corrected on that, but yeah, it's just a gorgeous looking little car, and I do have a mate that owns one who races it, but he certainly doesn't have I guess an eye-catching or as colourful a livery as the livery that Eve has on her car. So that's all I want to say. I'm just putting the names on the car. What I might do is I might finish that and go into preview mode, and then I can do a bit more of a view around the car in better ways. Now, I know I have to do some more work on the roof to truly replicate the livery. Well, I'm not so sure about that, because I've seen a couple of different images where the car is featured, and some do show a different roof treatment or additional pattern on the roof. It's a very subtle pattern, but it's there. And I'm also needing to finish off the back of the car, as you can see. So there is still work there for me to do, but yeah, I just wanted to do this quick video of it in the making. I hope that I have done it justice. I hope that, importantly, Eve and her father-in-law and her husband feel that I've respected their car and their livery in doing this, and I hope that they like it. I hope that they like seeing their livery on a, obviously a Vision model. Those of you who follow BMW will know that last year a homage version of the 2002 CSL was built, and it was based on this actual vehicle, which again is a visionary design, but BMW have actually built a version of this. I also believe some aftermarket company has built a derivative of it as well, but it's not exactly the same as the homage, and this car isn't exactly the same either. I have done a version of the homage, and if you have a look at my channel, or if you play PlayStation GT Sport and you do a search on IFLOWBOY in the discovery section, you will find it. I've tried to replicate that in the same lime green, I think it's regarded as lime green colour, that BMW built the homage. Obviously there are limitations on what I can do. For example, I couldn't chrome the grille, as you can see, and I can't change the shape of the grille. I've tried my best to make it longer in my homage version, excuse me, but yeah, anyway, enough about the homage. This is about Eve's car. So yeah, so that's how it's looking, and as I said, I find that it's a very striking livery. The contrast between the yellow and the purple, and then the subtle hint of the lighter shade of purple, or I guess almost to a mauve colour, particularly out in the sun. If I jump and change the mode to outdoor, and then I show you again, you can see how it really leaps out at you, and the actual 2002 is no different. Even in the footage and coverage that it gets, where it's a bit overcast, the colours are still really vibrant. So yeah, I hope they like it. I hope anybody else watching likes it, and yeah, stay tuned for the second version of this video when it is completed and Herman's name is there. Like sorry, Mr. Stippler, I don't know you. I shouldn't refer to you with your first name and without knowing you. But in that big little black pile there, there is definitely the letters sitting there. There they are, sitting there in that pile. So if I were to grab one, just to make him feel a little bit better at this stage that he's not missing out. This will be his name being shown on the car as well. And as I said, I've got to finish this livery. It's not finished yet, and I've got to make them line up properly. Of course, they're not placed correctly yet. So you can see this side is done, albeit I've got to try and track down a few more decals to go above the BBS. That's proving difficult to do, but I'll keep searching. And then obviously I've got to then replicate that on the other side. A bit hard to see here in the light with the shading. But if I go back to what they call the no, don't do that. If I go back to the normal, what I call my normal mode when I'm creating liveries, which is to have the white background, then I don't get a shadow effect, and you'll see that this side is definitely done and that side is not. So I still have to replicate across to the other side yet, but that won't take long. Replication usually is about 1/10 in most cases when you're doing livery design of your original side that you do. And my method is to do one side of the car, do the bonnet, do the roof. Generally speaking, I'll do the back of the car as well first, so that all of that's done, and then all I have to do is replicate the side to finish the livery. But definitely doing the original or first side in my case is the more lengthy process, and this livery so far I think has taken about 2 hours. Now the reason it's taken 2 hours is that I was trying to get it as accurate as I can, and that involved doing a bit of playing around with the livery shapes and lining them up, getting the widths right, again to try and be as accurate as I can. So if Eve is watching this video and she really wants to double check it, she'll see that my mauve bands are accurate in number. They're hopefully also accurate in their dimension and their position on the vehicle as well. I've tried my best to get it as accurate as I can. And likewise with the bonnet, and in particular, like I said, doing these decals here, because if I actually show you what that decal is actually like, let me find it in the list. There it is there. So if I duplicate that, now I've got to make sure I know which one that is so I can remove it, so that's the top one. And then I bring that to the fore so you can see it. I'm going to bring it up the top here. That's a better way of making sure I don't delete the wrong one. So there it is. Oops, my bad. So that's what it originally looked like. So I've had to recreate it as accurately as I can. Now obviously you can see there's a different color there on the decal to what I've gone with, but what I've done is I've made the yellow the same color as the yellow on the livery rather than that orangey yellow color you can see in the actual decal. But so I've had to effectively recreate, delete that waltz in, create my own banner at the bottom of it, try to make the letters as accurate as I can. You can see they're not exactly accurate. That's a limitation on the livery edit tool in terms of the letter or font of the lettering. That doesn't allow me to exactly do it, but a bit of work around getting that, and I can again show you what I mean by that. If I go back down to where that, you'll see here that what I've had to do is I've had to do multiple letters to try and recreate the same dimensions of each letter. So yeah, when I think about it, it's probably more like about 3 hours I've spent on this livery, which, considering there's not a huge number of decals needed to build it, I guess just reflects some of the challenges that I've faced trying to replicate, particularly these decals. And quite a bit of toing and froing between the YouTube video as a reference point to try and get the livery accurate. So I think I will wrap up the video here. I hope I will send the link to this video and the other video that I make of the car being driven on the track, and I'll do that in terms of actually I'll create a room, I'll start a race, which is going to be tricky. because I need somebody else in the room, but I'll do that and then I'll run the race and then replay it, and then I'll be able to share that. I'll do a broadcast of the race, and that way it'll be possible for Eve to see the car driving around on the road. I'll probably do it at the Nürburgring, which makes the most sense, and hopefully that will give Eve another perspective of the car. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. I didn't expect the broadcast to even go this long, but I hope that what I have said is of interest to anybody who watches it, and look out for the subsequent video when I finish the livery. And until then, thanks very much for watching. Please, if you like what you've seen, as every other YouTube person will say to you, please subscribe to my channel, please follow, please leave a comment. I'm very interested to know what you think, good or bad. All feedback is good feedback, as long as it's done in good taste and good spirit. Please give me feedback on things you like about my channel, things you don't like, things you want me to show you when it comes to creating liveries, or in Minecraft when I do Minecraft, things you'd like me to try to build. And obviously from my perspective, the more subscribers I get, the more encouragement there is for me to continue and give you more content to watch. So thanks very much, everybody. Please stay safe on this Saturday morning here in Brisbane, or Friday afternoon or Friday evening, wherever you might be around the world. Please stay COVID safe and be kind to each other, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.